if you actually work on yourself. This is a truth that a lot of people like to ignore. You should only really have high standards if you actually work on yourself. Because the problem you'll run into if you don't do this is that you'll have incredibly high standards, but the people that you've now set your standards to are not going to find you attractive because you aren't going to be equals to them. Like attracts like when it comes into relationships. That whole opposites attract is BS for the most part. Your odds of attracting someone who's the opposite of you are really low because, for the most part, it's a lot easier to connect with people when you have things in common. And high quality people are going to be looking for other high quality people. Other people who've put in the same amount of work that they've put in to improve themselves and to heal from their past trauma and to work on their insecurities and that sort of thing. So if you have really high standards, but you don't actually take the time to work on yourself, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably going to stay single for a while. So it's in your own interest to either improve yourself or lower your standards. And I would always suggest you actually get to work on improving yourself because that other option is just stupid and you're basically signing up for a mediocre life because you're unwilling to put in the work. So don't do that to yourself. If you want to live a great life, put in the work to improve yourself. This is how you separate yourself from the crowd and how you become high quality yourself. It's really fulfilling. Everyone should aspire to be high quality. I don't know why we live in a world where that's not the case. So many people are comfortable being mediocre, and it's unfortunate. It's one of the reasons why the dating pool today is so kind of off-putting because most people are low quality. They just don't put in the work to improve themselves. So I don't want any of you to run into this problem of staying single for a long period of time. So if you have high standards, then work on improving yourself. Start practicing self-love. Start knowing yourself and knowing your worth. And start working on healing your past trauma from previous relationships and especially from your childhood if you have anything going that far back. I would highly even suggest if you have childhood trauma to get a therapist or seek out professional help because working through that will really help you in life in general and also with your dating life because quite often the more healed we are, the better partners we'll make. So you don't quite need to get to a place where you're fully healed, but you should at least be on that journey so that you've worked on a lot of it and you're not going to get triggered by things that your partner does that aren't even bad. So just keep working on yourself and keep developing and growing as much as possible. Aim to create great habits for yourself and take care of yourself. Eat healthy and work out and just maintain yourself. It's so easy to do, but so many people don't do it, and it's one of the easiest ways to become low quality is if you just don't care enough about yourself to actually take care of yourself. No high quality person is going to want to be with someone who doesn't care about themselves and just allows themselves to decline like that. So always work on yourself if you want to have high standards. And you should have high standards. That's how you create a great relationship in the future. I mean, high quality partners are basically the only people you should commit to for long-term relationships. They're the best for that. They're the best people to marry. Otherwise, your odds of divorce are pretty high. So I would always tell everyone to strive to become high quality themselves so they can attract a high quality person. It's just such an important thing. And I was actually inspired to make this video because yesterday I watched a video where Steve Harvey was interviewing some woman on one of his shows. I don't know. He's got a bunch of them, so I don't know what the name of it was. But basically, the woman had like a list of like over 50 criteria for the kind of man that she wanted to date. And it was ridiculous. I mean, her standards were so incredibly high that even Steve Harvey was struggling to be kind to her because he even knew that her standards were ridiculous. She was basically signing herself up to be single for prolonged periods of time. And the worst part was she wasn't even high quality herself. She hadn't put in the work to earn a man that she desired. So that's how you end up staying single for a long period of time. If your standards are super high and you haven't worked on yourself, then good luck attracting someone who meets your standards. It's just, the odds of it happening are really low. So I also want to make this video just to address how this is why people should be realistic with themselves. If you haven't put in the work, then you probably will need to lower your standards. I just never want to make the mistake of telling all of you to have such high standards that you'll stay single your whole life. That's not good. So be more realistic, but always be working on yourself so that you can still attract high quality people. You just don't want to end up in that boat of people who never work on themselves and think that they deserve Prince Charming or Princess, beautiful princess. I don't know what the female equivalent to Prince Charming is, but yeah, you don't want to end up in that boat. So work on yourself. Get to a place where you can attract these people. Don't blame the world and blaming all men or all women for your dating issues. Blame yourself, take ownership, and start working on improving all of your weaknesses, all of your flaws. You don't need to get to a place where they're all completely fixed, but the more you work on them, the more high quality you become. High quality people aren't perfect by any means, but they've worked on a lot of their problems from the past, a lot of their insecurities, and they've healed a lot of their trauma, and that's what makes them high quality. You do not need to be perfect though, so don't set that standard for yourself. I just want to urge all of you to do this because yeah, you don't want to end up in that boat of people who basically aren't realistic with themselves about what they can attract and even what they, I guess, deserve to some extent. Because if you haven't worked on yourself, you don't deserve someone who has. It's just the truth. You need to earn it by working on yourself as well. Anyway, I know this video wasn't as motivational as some of my previous ones, but I hope you actually take it in a motivational route, to use it as inspiration to better yourself so that you can attract high quality people, because it's worth it. It truly is. Not even just for relationships. Becoming more high quality makes your whole life better in general. It really does. It makes being single a lot more fulfilling. It allows you to go after your career goals. It helps you make more friends and keep them. And it just helps nearly every aspect of life. So yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. So yeah, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.